So this is second part of sketching Randy Orton, and basically we are going to focus on first of all for the eyebrows of Randy Orton, and then second eyes, and then finally skin texture. So let's just start with making the eyebrows of Randy Orton. So there are two differences between left hand side part of the eyebrows and right hand side part of the eyebrows, is that right hand side part eyebrows are not much visible, as Randy Orton is just standing what I can say, standing not on front side, is standing backward side. So of course his face is just little bit tilted, so for that reason his right hand side eye is not much visible, but if left hand side eye is completely visible and much detailed. So for that thing eyebrows are completely dark, as you can see from the reference picture. So we are going to use a soft charcoal pencils for directly making the eyes, and sharpen your pencil as much as you can so that your hairs look like a complete darker or complete realistic thing. Make as much as hairs as possible, zoom out your pictures so that you know where the different type of details are going on. So after making this type of details, next thing is that the eyes, the right hand side part eye of Randy Orton is not much visible, but when you will zoom out the picture you will see that right hand side part of the eye is little bit more grayish on the center, and then white on, completely white on center. So for that thing zoom out your picture and just make outlines first, and then go for details like darkening those parts and this type of things. You can also go for making just gray part first of all, then using mono eraser to create this type of highlights. Then for the left hand side part of the eye of Randy Orton, I will recommend that use a soft charcoal pencil for making the outlines of the eyes. As I always say that don't use soft charcoal pencil for making skin texture or any type of these basic things. But for this particular thing, there's a little bit more difference here, because the darker part of the eye are the outlines of the eyes. So for that things use soft charcoal pencil and make outlines. Then again use a mechanical pencil, or you can also use a 0.5 mm or 0.3 mm mechanical pencil and make outlines. But while making outlines, keep on remembering that don't apply pressure while making those outlines, because if you will apply the pressure your sketch will look completely dark, and then if you want to just erase those parts it will not be easier. So for that thing I will recommend that while making outlines just don't apply pressure. Then after that thing the background of eyes, I am talking about left hand side part of the eye, the background upper part, lower part and left hand side part of the eyes are a little bit more darker, right? If you can focus that the light source is just making highlights on the nose and then forehead part, these are the two basic parts where the more lighter things are there, right? So for that thing just darken the up and above part of eye and then the left hand side part of the eye. These are the basic two parts which are more little bit more darker, and the skin texture of cheek part. So for making eyes, first of all, first step was making outlines, then just darkening the parts which are little bit more darker, like using 3B or 4B pencil on the cornea part, pupil part. And I've uploaded a complete tutorial how to make eyes and this type of things. You can also check out the I button, and if you want to buy the tools that I'm using for this every tutorials of mine, you can check out the link in the description box. You can check out every tool that I'm using and you can buy them also. Now next thing is that just go further, the main thing left over for the eye was using a grade thing, like the darkest part of the eye was pupil and left hand side part of the eye and above part of the eye, which are a little bit more darker. So you should know where the darker and where the lighter parts are. For the lighter parts always go for H pencil as the base layer and just blend it using a tissue. Don't use a blending stump or the earbud and this type of things. You can use, but I will recommend that for base layer always use a tissue. Then just gradually increase the grades of pencils, like 3B pencil for the above part of the eye. For the center part of the eye use 5B pencil or 6B pencil, and this is how you can complete the eye. Then next our main focus will be on the skin texture. As you can see on the cheek part of the Randy Orton, There are so many smaller pores and so many skin texture details are visible. Smaller dots and up to smaller lines and this type of things are visible. Those are the skin texture, and this picture that I'm using of Randy Orton is much more detailed and 4K picture that I'm using, so details are much visible. But for the real life, if you can focus on any person from a distance, you will see that not much detailed of the face like skin texture, and this is visible. But when you will go a little bit more further to that person, and you will find out that so many details like skin texture and skin cells are visible. So for that thing, I will always recommend that skin texture and this type of things will be a next or advanced level for beginner or intermediate artist. I will not recommend that for a beginner or intermediate artist directly go for skin texture. If your reference picture is having so much of details, you can apply them. But if your reference picture is having just a flat face or not much details are visible, just make a 2B or 3B pencil as the base layer and just blend them. This is the basic thing as I can say for the skin texture. So for the cheek part, we will start with the mechanical pencil of 3B pencil. If you can focus on the left hand side part of the nose, where so much of smaller details like small pores and skin cells are visible. But moreover, the more detailed thing is that the direction of the pores, like the starting of the cheek part, the skin cells are a little bit flat and horizontal, but while approaching to the ears, the skin cells and the skin direction is going upwards. So for that reason, I will say that the direction of skin cells is also important, like the hair's direction was important. If you will make the hair direction downwards and the hair direction is upwards, so your hair will look completely flat, right? So for simple reason, your skin texture is also having so much of direction, like the below part of the eye, the direction of skin texture is going downwards. The ear part, the left hand side part of the ear, where the skin direction is going a little bit more downwards. These are the direction of hairs, and you should focus on this type of basic things. So after using a mechanical pencil making the direction of hairs, I will recommend that use a makeup brush or paint brush and just use the makeup brush in the direction of the skin texture. Like if the skin texture is going upwards, use your use your makeup brush in upward direction. If the hairs are going layer a bit more flat, not a hairs, the realistic distance of the skin texture is going flat, just use it in a flat way. Then after blending it again, why I said download I don't know, just darken the parts like skin pores which are a little bit more darker, like the center part of the cheek where the skin pores are a little bit more darker. Go up to 2B or 3B pencil and darken them. After darkening them, again blend those parts using a makeup brush. I will never recommend that for the skin texture which is little bit more detailed like this Randy Orton. I will never recommend that. Use blending stump and this type of things. So we are going to see the next things like nose, lips and this type of things in the final part of the Randy Orton. It will be uploaded tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But till then, if you have any questions regarding this tutorial of Randy Orton, you can comment down below. I will try to comment every of you. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. So that was all for this tutorial. If you have learned something from this video, subscribe and drop a like and comment down your question and queries regarding this tutorial. Meanwhile, take care of your loved ones too. Have an artistic day. Tattoos.